So we are also live on Facebook, Greg, and we are going to just chat a little bit about the coronavirus. And
now you tell me we're live on Facebook. I should do the camera thing. I want the split screen.
We are going to do that too. I honestly, the time that takes a little time, and we are so strapped for time this week. We have so much going on. Travel.fun is like everywhere. But I know people have been asking me like crazy about the coronavirus. Do you have any specific questions, Greg, on the coronavirus that I can help?
Well, actually, I did a show on it.
Tell me. Give us your...
Last week. Oh, it's fascinating. Well, here's what let me give you my quick synopsis.
Okay. Greg from Action Radio.
There we go. Oh, hi. Good morning, everybody. This is Action Radio. This is the citizen legislature. If you want to change your world and write your own legislation by which you consent to be governed, that's what we do here. We, the people, give our consent to be governed through writing the laws by which we are governed.
Yes.
It's like a second American Revolution.
I love it. Writing your own bills. I love it. So go on, Greg. You've got people.
So here's what we know about the coronavirus, all right? It was invented, the patent was applied for in Britain in 2015.
I didn't know.
It was awarded in 2018. This is a man-made virus, all right? It's a more virulent form of a virus that occurs naturally. And so coronavirus has been out there, I guess, as long as viruses have been out there. You know, biblical plants have before. It's there, all right? But this modern one's different. Now, China has a biological weapons program that also includes the coronavirus.
Wow.
I don't know if it's the same one. Yeah, I don't know if it's the same one. I don't know what's happening. We haven't established the connections yet because, of course, nobody wants to tell us.
Right.
The fact that it happened in Wuhan province or city is amazing because I think that's where the Chinese bioweapons lab is. So that's another thing to look into. The patent, the Purebred Institute, the ones that created this virus, is funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. All right. So you've got the American money funding a British institute creating a virus that ends up in China as part of a bioweapons program.
Wow.
Tracing the connections is going to be fascinating. All right. So here's what's happening. All right. Now it gets even better because the first thing that they came up with was we need grants, you know, to find a vaccine. And of course, one of the companies who's going to create the vaccine, their stock shot up like 900%.
Right. Of course, when there's a virus, then the vaccine comes next, and so it becomes like a money making. This is the first I've heard of that, by the way. So I know our listeners are really intrigued too. Yeah, for sure. And if they want more information, I know they can go to your page, Action Radio. So did I get this correct? I know we have such limited time. Basically, you're saying that it's you can actually trace it to being a man-made virus, and that we were there.
We know we've got the patent number.
We've got the patent number on it.
The Action Radio Vaccine Project.
Wow.
And we have several groups with us, including the Action Radio Cruise and Travel Project, which Shelby's a part of. All right, she is the Cruise and Travel Project. But yeah, we have an Action Radio Vaccine Project that documents and put all this stuff there. You know, the patent number, everything. So if people are denying it, saying it's not happening, we found the patent. It's right there. This is a man-made virus. There is no reason for coronavirus to be out there. But it's fascinating when you think about it. The ultimate in corporate, you know, greed and I think just a complete lack of any moral
compass. Yeah, there's no moral compass there at all to spread something in order to get a vaccine.
Yeah.
So on a lighter note, because, you know, on a practical note, let's say for the people, because I know most of us that are thinking about the coronavirus are kind of selfishly thinking about it like, hey, I want to still travel, right? That's really our biggest concern. We're not thinking that global picture of there's a patent on it, it was man-made, created, and then companies are going to make money off the vaccine. We are thinking more like, damn, can I travel safely? You know, that's basically what we're thinking, right, guys? And if you have questions or comments, please put them below and we'll get back to them later on this afternoon when we have a little time. And I'll tag Greg in this as well, because I'm sure you'll have some really good feedback. Greg's very knowledgeable on a lot of fronts. But just to fill you guys in, because we have about 50 people watching right now, there's definitely some link to the coronavirus and man-made viruses that, you know, were made and intended so that you could find the cure, and then the stock would rise and pay for the cure or the vaccine, not cure. So as far as travel goes, there are still people that are not allowed to travel in Asia. I'll tell you, a few cruise lines have actually stopped allowing anyone with Hong Kong and Chinese passports aboarding their ship up until March. So the whole month of February, they're not allowing them on board. So that's one of the safety precautions cruise ships are making. And I know there have been a few cruise ships that were held up and quarantined. And, I just like to remind people that it's a small environment. So this happens with Norwalk, is just getting diarrhea, really. It's a precaution that they always take. They're always going to take. It doesn't necessarily mean that things are like, like the movie Outbreak. It's not that bad. It's just that they really are a small contained vessel, and they have these rules and regulations that they have to follow. So whether or not they want to follow it, they have to, because it's a small environment and they're just trying to make sure that people don't spread it outside of there. And I do want to also let you know the stats that we've looked at. It's the majority of the people that are passing away from this virus are in their 70s and 80s or have immune compromised systems. So I think that's important information. It doesn't make it good or anything, but it is important information as far as, like, if I'm going to make a decision to go somewhere, I want to know, is it killing everybody that comes in contact with it, or is it killing people that are compromised or elderly? And that's a big important factor for me as a traveler. So at this point, the information that we have is the people that it has been taking the lives of are mostly, not all, of course, there's always exceptions to every rule with viruses and in life, but the majority of the people are elderly and also immune compromised at this point. There are 43,000 confirmed cases, and they have about 1,000 deaths. And the cruise ship are taking it pretty seriously and making sure that they are not all of them, but I don't want to name names because I don't want to get into a whole day of back and forth about this. But there are certain cruise ships that we know of, that cruise companies that are definitely not allowing anyone with those Asian passports to come on board for this month. And I'm sure that they'll make arrangements for future credits. Insurance does not cover. By the way, this is another thing, insurance. If you want to know about travel insurance does not cover things like outbreaks of viruses and things like that, unless you get cancel for any reason insurance, which is probably about 30% more expensive. But in this case, this would be like if you were going to Asia and you had a cancel for any reason policy, then you could cancel for any reason, right? But if you have a regular insurance policy, they don't cover, none of them cover this type of thing. However, if it gets so bad that the cruise lines don't allow people on board, or the airlines are not actually going there, then the airline or the cruise line would naturally give you some sort of credit, and that would be how you would get a little bit of your compensation back. So that's important information, I think, for our viewers as well. Go ahead, Greg, tell me, what do you think? What's your...
Well, it's as a passenger, as someone who's been on cruise ships, I love cruises. It is kind of a close environment. But the thing is, I think I got norovirus, which is something that is kind of like your worst flu.
Yeah, it's like the diarrhea.
But you can get sick anytime. I think sometimes we get sensationalized by all these things.
Absolutely.
Out there. And you sort of if you listen to everything, you'll never do anything.
Yeah.
I traveled Europe, when I was a kid, and I grabbed the fresh fruit in the markets and went around and drank the local pretty much everything except water. I think.
Yeah, just don't drink the water.
Drink the water. But with a few precautions, the fear is a big problem. And I don't want to get in a huge argument, but people are scared to have a family because of climate change. They think the world's going to end.
Right. Fear is a big problem. I agree with you. And I don't, you want to make educated decisions. You don't want to be worried about every little thing, because the news also sensationalizes things like crazy. I mean, I should have gotten up the stats of how many people get killed from the flu, just the flu. There's a lot. In fact, more than this. So
it's dangerous.
Yeah.
But
So
the flu vaccine.
Right, exactly. The vaccines.
That actually lowers your resistance.
Right, right. Absolutely. No, I totally agree with you. I know we're heading into the end of my bit here on the show. We're here every Tuesday, Action Radio. You can listen to it online on his podcast. I do want to end with a few tips that not only have worked for me, but I've actually had guests of mine come up and be like, oh my God, Shelby, send me that article because I followed your tips and it really worked. And a few of them I'm going to give you for free. So make sure you like Shelby Live and also Action Radio, please, because all of this information and content is very valuable, but we want those likes and comments and shares. It helps us to go viral with the community and get more good word out. So please do that for us as a thank you for all the free info. One of the things that people always know is wash your hands. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We're not idiots. We know to wash our hands, right? But one of the things people don't think of that is so important is when you go to the buffet on anywhere, you touch those tongs. 90% of the people grab something, even a French fry. Now, if you've done it, go ahead and press like. You know you've grabbed a French fry from that buffet and stuck it in your mouth. You know, I've done it too, even though I know I shouldn't. It's just so hard, you damn French fries. So you grab it, you put it in your mouth, so that your saliva, so you touch something, and now you touch those damn tongs again. And we all do it. And so, and not only that, people don't wash their hands properly, and it's just the way humans, we're a nasty little breed, okay? So then we touch those tongs, and we wipe our snot, and we wipe our whatever, and then we touch those tongs. And then you sit down, and you're like, oh, I touched the tongs. I was clean. I didn't grab the food. But all the tongs is what has all the germs on it. So whenever I sit down before I eat after a buffet, I never eat my food. I always either go to the bathroom and wash my hands if there's one by, and if there's not, I grab a lemon from the station, because they always have lemon there for people that do lemon, and I wipe my hands with the lemon, like wash it with the lemon, and then I go eat my food. And I'm very conscientious about the salt, the pepper, and the ketchup, because same sort of rules apply there. That's one big thing that people don't think of. The other big thing is just not touching your eyes. Like, I don't touch the elevator buttons or the railings unless I have to, and then I don't touch my eyes or my face with my fingertips unless I've just washed my hands. Like, I will use my knuckle, or I will use like my shirt like this, you know. I just won't touch my face. And I honestly, I've had Norwalk once, and I've been on board over 2,500 days at sea, thousands of singles I've met, hundreds of single solo cruises I've done, and I've only had Norwalk once. I mean, I lived on board. So those couple things are really huge game changers as far as really avoiding getting that Norwalk or any other communicable disease that isn't airborne. That's what I'd like to share with the people. And thank you so much, Greg. I love being on your show. I love what you're doing. I love the citizen action and making our own bills. And I am looking forward to that intro. And we might, after the end of February, because we're booking so many people right now. This is like the crazy booking season. Everyone wants on, and they're ready to make arrangements. But after the end of February, I think we should be able to get together and get that intro and all that stuff, if that sounds good to you.
Well, love it beyond. In fact, I actually have you on live already on my page and on the Action Radio page. So you're there, and I'll put it on the cruise and travel page and our video page as well. So you're definitely being shared. But I just want to follow you on cruise ship. I want to see what you do with the lemons and everything else. If this cracks me up.
Oh yeah, okay.
But still, I just want to see you do it. You know?
Well, you know, that's a great point. I should have the video. We're going to do a lot of stuff. In March, I'm going to be on the Virgin Voyages. I'll be doing some live stuff there. I can do it then. Or in April, we have that weekend singles crazy cruise. It's going to be awesome. And then of course we have the river cruise, which is going to be amazing. So lots of opportunities. Yeah. And I will have someone videotape my little routine, how not to get sick. Okay. and it is helpful, because honestly, that sucks to get sick.
One thing I would add, there's only two words I would add to people: natural immunity. Okay? Yeah. We all have immune systems. Yeah. Develop it. Yeah. All right. Exercise. Eat healthy. Get your rest. Yeah. Do the basics. You know, most of the diseases, you know, contrary to popular belief, and we studied this in the vaccination project fairly carefully, but things like polio were wiped out with chlorine in swimming pools, you know, with clean water. You know, waterborne diseases, the way you get rid of them is good sewage, okay, and good drainage. Yeah. That's how you do it. Roads, sewers, and fresh water. Those are the hallmarks of a civilized society. But natural immunity, you can develop that. And I was a tour guide in San Francisco, and like Shelby, I saw people from all over the world all the time, shaking hands with everybody, except those who refused because they had a different religious belief. And I'll talk about that later. Right. Actually. But point being, I met people from all over the world all the time. Everybody comes through San Francisco, and everybody was on my tours. I was fine. Natural immunity, okay? Why didn't I get sick? So don't be afraid to travel. Don't be afraid of other people. Don't be afraid of all this stuff. Take precautions. You know, do the things that
Yeah, definitely take precautions.
Don't be paranoid. Don't not go on a cruise because something happened somewhere along the way. As Mark Twain once said, the most dangerous place in the world is in bed. Most people die in bed. Think about it. Okay,
Well,
if you stay in a bed, you've got.
Well, yeah, I mean, but generally you're not feeling well. That's why you're in bed. I don't know. I've got to run, Greg. I have an appointment going, and I know we have Karen, of course, coming on. But Action Radio, we love Greg, and thank you so much. I'm Shelby. You're fabulous. Stay healthy, everybody. Bye-bye for now.